This conference will now be recorded.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Board of Commissioner meeting for August 25th, 2022. As stated, this is the Board Commissioner meeting for Lake Stevens Sewer District. This morning, myself, Commissioner Branson, and I have Commissioner Wright here. Commissioner Koshi had pre-scheduled engagement, so he will not be joining us this morning. So you just got us, I guess, along with the great staff here. So with that, as we start to go through this, let's go ahead and start by doing the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, excellent. Thank you, everybody. And as we move on, if you're following us either on our fine little virtual board here, as we can see you, and hopefully you can see us if you've got a camera. We are on item number 3 now in the agenda packet, if you have it electronically. This is the public forum which we would open up. This is an opportunity for anybody that is up on the wall that wants to take a few minutes and talk to the Board of Commissioners. It doesn't have to be about anything on the current agenda. It could be questions, comments, concerns, critiques that you may have of the board. We would entertain that. While I look up there to see if the thing lights up like a Christmas tree, which it isn't. There's no chat bar going on, and I don't see anybody in the audience that really wants to speak. We'll give it a second or two because, you know, sometimes it takes a little bit just to work up that courage. Hit the button, but if you don't, I guess we will just kind of like close the public forum at this point. So no comments submitted. Look at that. You're keeping us on track. Appreciate that. So as we move down to item number 4, I'll look to Commissioner Wright and to the fellow staff here. Is there anything else that we need to add, subtract that maybe we didn't do on this agenda? Nothing from there? Nothing from Commissioner Wright? How about a motion?
I'd like to do a motion to approve the agenda for August 25th.
I would second that motion as submitted, and I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we are on track. Moving down to item number 5. If you're following virtually, it is the consent agenda items. For those that may not know how this works, there's items A through J that are generally listed. These are items that have been previously reviewed by the board members in detail. So it is a really quick way for us to go through and just approve them as one, or if there was any discrepancies, we bring those out. But at this point, I would look to Commissioner Wright if there is a motion on the floor for an approval of the consent items.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent items A through J.
Motion on the floor to approve those A through J. I would second that motion. I would look to see if there's any further discussion. Not seeing any or hearing anything come up, call for the vote. All in favor? Aye. Okay, it has passed. Thank you. Well, we're gonna move down to old business. If you're following, that's item number 6. As you can see, it is blank, meaning there is nothing there. So let's go to number 7. The only new business we have, that is what would be, is the, let's say, is it NESI or Nessie annexation contract? Okay. I will look to staff. They will give us an update on that.
So the agreement for the Nessie annexation is the first step in the annexation process, and it's the proponent's agreement to reimburse the district for any costs incurred in preparing the annexation. The Nessie property is roughly 5-acre parcel, and it's adjacent to the Bachelor recently complete Bachelor annexation. The agreement's been reviewed by legal and staff, and it's recommended for approval.
Perfect. Any questions from Commissioner?
Not from me.
Not from there. How about a motion to approve the Nessie annexation contract as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve the Nessie annexation contract as presented.
So there is a motion on the floor to approve the Nessie annexation contract as outlined by staff, approved by legal, and motioned by Commissioner Wright. I would second that. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Moving on down, managers reports. We are clipping through this thing like there's no tomorrow. We won't make a world record, but hey, we are clipping through it. I'll look to the general manager to begin with.
All right, plant flows right now are at 2.4 million gallons a day. We had Department of Ecology out to visit the plant. They actually brought, so our manager and then also a second individual that was just hired by Ecology to manage the council. So both of them took a tour of the plant. They were very impressed, had very good things to say, as well as a few recommendations and thoughts, since they're the ones that are going to be writing our next permit. So got a little bit of insight on what may be coming the next time, but it was just an overall, spent about 3 hours with us, and they were very impressed with the plant. So kudos to the plant staff who have done the amazing job, and keeping us in compliance and keeping that relationship with our regulators really a positive thing. So very good for them. We're painting down at the plant right now, as well as getting the MBRs ready for winter. It's hard to believe when it's like 90 degrees outside, but we are prepping already for winter months coming. A big thank you to Commissioner Wright for staff appreciation lunch. It was very well attended, very well appreciated. Thank you for coming in and doing that.
Yeah.
Customer service 2 position was posted externally, if you've seen that. We've already gotten a number of applicants, so we'll be reviewing that in a couple weeks. So very positive on that.
Is that a full-time position?
It is.
Okay.
And then the GIS analyst position has been posted internally. Next week it'll be posted externally. So we'll be excited to see what comes in for that position as well. We're prepping the office then for new staff, trying to figure out where to put them. There's been a huge project, so big thank you to Melanie and Roz and Teresa, who manage our records and have been doing a really good job of going through everything we have, working with the state records in order to figure out what we can send to archives, working with retention laws and making sure we have what we need to have that can purge other things. So we've done a really, really amazing job of cleaning up the office and getting rid of some filing cabinets that we didn't actually have to keep. So huge thank you to them. Waswood Fall Conference is September 28th to 30th in Kennewick. And I wanted to know if any commissioners wanted to go to that so we can get you registered.
Can I talk to you after, Mother?
Yep. So that'd be good. So there is no Section 3 meeting in September because they'll have us at the conference as well as the business meeting at the conference. Utility meeting, obviously it was supposed to be yesterday, but we didn't make it happen. September, the city partners also have a conflict with the regularly scheduled date. So we're looking for a different date, wondering if maybe the 22nd at 10 a.m., which is right after the board meeting, if that might work for you guys. So we have a 9 a.m. board
It
meeting.
should if we just keep it, I mean, if it's on the same date, I generally am doing pretty well. You want that just right after
Right
our
after.
regular? Okay.
Regular board meeting. Like
That way we don't have to come back. Yep, no, that's fine.
Okay.
We can do that. That works for them, that works for.
All right, that's all I got. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. Yeah, and I apologize to everybody, it was last second. My real work, if you want to call it that. Yeah,
Good job.
yeah, exactly. It was inundating, so I've just tried to catch up because as you probably know or don't know, I'm going to be out of town here for a couple of weeks, so trying to wrap up everything I can so I don't have to come back to complete meltdown somewhere. So I'll look to the assistant general manager if Commissioner Wright doesn't have anything to add.
So the district's collected 50 connection fees thus far and issued 168 permits. Yesterday had the kickoff meeting for the Lift Station 7 generator possible relocation to that site. And at least the initial observations are pretty good that we can reuse Shirewood's generator at Lift Station 7 with minimal modifications. So that was pretty good news. The lift station 2C generator procurement paperwork, we're almost done with that and getting ready to send that out for bid. And the commissioners may recall that we had a couple of sinkholes on South Lake Stevens and Machias Cutoff. And we had kind of described that there was kind of one or two options for the way it was going to play out. Either it was their fault and would be covered under warranty, or it would be handled as a force account, an additional charge on that project. And when they excavated, it was outside of their trench. So it's going to be an additional $20,537 to make those repairs. We did have them go a little above and beyond and fill those voids with controlled density fill, or CDF, to ensure that any adjoining possible voids under the pavement will be filled with the CDF. So it should minimize risk of that happening again. And that's all I've got.
Yeah, I guess that stuff happens when you disturb a lot of work in an area that was probably filled to begin with many years ago, or had really poor soil.
Yeah.
Did we ever get any of the approvals from the city? I know I made an inquiry in regards to the lift station projects we've been waiting on to try to kind of
We haven't
move
been
forward.
contacted about any of them.
Okay. I'll follow up with, I know that I've been talking with Councilmember Peter Shagan on some of the stuff before, just an inquiry, not because it will have an effect that'll cause scheduling conflicts all the way down the line if we're not going to, we can't get on top of it. But that's, I mean, we're working with other partners to give us approvals. It's not like we can just do that. But I appreciate that. Great job. You got anything?
You're awesome.
All right, keeping this all in line.
You're awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, she runs a tight ship.
I have amazing staff members.
Yeah, you do. And you keep us in line, so that's even better. So I'm gonna look to the virtual wall real quick to see if I see any staff members from the city. I do not see there, because there is a spot here if they would like to question, comments, concerns, or give us any updates. But if they're not available, that's going to make that a little problematic. And we don't even have, generally Councilmember Peter Shagan joins us, but I think he may be obviously work too. So we're gonna forego any city reports. Commissioner reports. I will start with Commissioner Wright.
I met with Gary Peters Hagan yesterday, and we discussed some of what you and you've been speaking about as far as a potential merger. So it's very interesting to hear his point of view and perspective, and I felt like that was very helpful. And then, as mentioned before, we had the staff lunch this weekend. I thought it was really fun. It's great to see the staff, and I just wanted to do something to show appreciation for all the hard work of everyone. And I appreciate the positivity that, I feel like from management to everywhere that the staff has as far as their job and the good work they're doing.
No, I just want to be able to say, yeah, congrats and thank you to the staff in that sense, because it's always a positive vibe to the organization. I mean,
That's not common right now.
it is not common in a lot of industries that you don't get that, but this is one that I think we work very well together as an organization. Our employees know that they can chat with any of us and go from there. And that information works itself up and down the chain all the time. And that's just great to see. So, it's really appreciative. Thank you for all doing the great work that you guys do, because that's what makes us shine. So truly appreciate it. I know that like in the next, I think there's a commission meeting on the 8th. I will try to join. Gosh knows what state I will be in. It might be in Utah, it might be in Denver, it might be in Wyoming at that point. I don't know. Sometimes I get service. I think I had one year on the side of, I was in Nebraska or Kansas, I think, at a rest stop trying to do a meeting, and that was horrible. So I would look to Commissioner Wright or Koshi to run it, because that latency in the phone service might just be a little tough for everybody. So, but I will do my best to join. We do have an executive session. I'm going to say we should be done by 9:30. Of course, I'm very ambitious. I know that Jack up there, our legal, is probably just shaking his head thinking, oh boy, I've seen elected. So, but I would let him do any of the legal description. It would be pertaining to obviously litigation or potential litigation. No decision to follow, but you know, I don't have the JD after my name, so that's why I would look to Mr. Mullins to do that for us.
All right, the Lake Stevens Sewer District Commission will now move into executive session pursuant to RCW 42.30.110(1)I to discuss with legal counsel representing the agency matters related to the pending litigation to which the agency is a party. The executive session will conclude at 9:30. At the conclusion of the executive session, the commission will adjourn the board meeting with no related announcements or actions taken.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us this morning, except for those that are staying. So
Thank you, Michelle.
keep cool. It's going to be a warm one today.
Jack, where's your dog tie?
This conference will now be recorded.
Well, good morning, everybody. The Board of Commission for Lake Stevens Sewer District is now out of executive session. As we previously stated before going into it, and there would be no decision to follow. So with that being said, we would just look to one another as commissioners and decide, are we done with this meeting, and make a motion so forth?
I make a motion to adjourn.
And I would second that. With that being said, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everybody, for your time. Appreciate it. And well, the 8th is the next meeting. You may be hearing from me so far state away, I guess.